Parent Exchange here at Parent Support for Online Learning. I'm your host, Tilly Elvram, here in the group. And today we're talking to one of the members of the group, somebody who has been sharing resources for a while now. And I thought it would be beneficial if we brought him on. So our guest today is Jay on the drums. Jay is a public school educator and a really great musician, drummer, which you'll see. But he's also posting these great videos, and he founded kidsfreezedance.com. And for me, I wish I would have had this when my kids were younger and we were doing online learning because it would have been a great kind of brain break when things maybe got a little stressful, or maybe we needed to work on a concept and bring a little fun and movement and music into it. So I love everything that Jay's doing. So welcome to the group, Jay.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here and chatting.
Yeah.
It's online. I mean, that's the new norm, right? Here we are. I love it.
It is. And that's what I love about online learning, is that there's all these great tools at our fingertips that we can help support our kids in their learning. And so, we all have concerns about screen time and all of those things, but when we use screen time, let's make it meaningful and productive. And I think this is a way that we can do that. It's not just sitting your kid in front of a computer and them going down a YouTube wormhole and you don't know where they're going to end up. This has been, carefully designed. It's educational and it's fun too, which is always a perk. So tell us a little bit about your professional background and how Kids Freeze Dance came to be.
Yeah, thank you for the great introduction. And again, I'm just so happy to be here and connecting with other people via the internet that I might never meet.
That's right.
It's so cool. So I've been working with kids for about 15 years. I grew up outside Chicago, and for about 10 years, I spent my life working as a lead teacher in a rec center. So for kids ages 3 till about 12. I did that while I was going to college to get my degree, my bachelor's in elementary ed. And I was there for such a long time. I learned so much about movement and connection with kids and working with parents, and just so much as I was learning to be a teacher. And then finally, after I graduated, I worked with kids as young as preschool. I taught kindergarten, second grade, fifth grade, currently teaching third. And I've just been teaching for quite a while. And what I learned in the rec world was just how much fun it could be when you add movement. Now, I'm not a gym teacher. I teach in the classroom. And I just had such an influence from the rec world. I started bringing things into my classroom in my daily lessons. And you briefly mentioned brain break. And I don't know, I think there's a place for that. But my content for Kids Freeze Dance, it's more of using the movement in the lesson as a part of the teaching. We don't need to take a break and dance to a cartoon that's just dancing. It's not about that. My whole product that I've created it's Kids Freeze Dance, but it's using movement to teach anything. And there's a way and a place to do that in your daily lessons. It does not have to be indoor recess, or we're going to take a break from learning and now you can just wiggle. Like, that's cool, but that's not, really what I've designed and what I've been creating, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'll share my screen here, and we can kind of see this in action.
Great.
On your website.
And so I think most people are probably familiar with the idea of freeze dance, right? Like, so a teacher has a music source, they play a song, everyone dances, you freeze the music, everyone's supposed to freeze. And I think some of the rules are kind of mean, like if you don't freeze, you're out, My videos don't do that. It's not about who's out, who's in. What I've done is we dance, we move. Some of it could be guided exercises instead of dancing, because, some kids don't like to dance, and I totally get that. Mm-hmm. But the point is, you're moving and dancing, you're being active while the drums are playing, and then we freeze. Nice. As we freeze, there's a break point. Now it's completely silent, and everyone's got their attention. And that's when we can drop in the lesson, the review. We can do so much with reading and math when they're frozen and they're physically engaged. And after we do a little lesson, a quick little, maybe a math fact, we go back into the movement. And now you've got to be waiting because at some point I'm going to say freeze again. And now we're frozen. And now it's a different math fact or it's mental math. But everyone's engaged with their whole body and they're fully engaged with the lesson.
Really engaging. And it's getting kids using all of their senses, they're moving, rhythm. And can you talk a little bit about the science behind movement and learning and what that can do for kids, mentally and helping them retain information, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so in the research I've done, I did a little bit in college and I learned more just in the field as I've gone through it. But the main thing to realize right off the bat is how integrated the mind and the body are and how they're never separate of each other. So if you think about that, it's even more so in a kid's world because just of their perspective is so much smaller. The impact of the things they do, they're bigger, right? And so with kids, their attention spans because of this are also a lot smaller. So when you teach an hour math lesson, there's no way you can have your class seated for the hour.
Yeah.
It might start with you're on carpet to introduce, or maybe you're going to review on the carpet. Then you're going to move to the desks. And then maybe after you finish with practice, you're going to move. The setting changes. The sitting all day can't work. So with videos like this, the point is to offer some variety. And when you can appease the mind and the body, it marries it together and it helps increase the brain development and actually create more neuron connections is the ultimate goal here. The blood flow, the moving, it creates emotional connection with other kids in the classroom when we're doing something that seems kind of wacky, like pool noodles and drumming in that particular video, or even in the other format of my videos with the dancing or moving. You're bonding, you're connecting, you're making an emotional experience, and that leaves an imprint on the child versus sit down and read and open your book. There's a place for that. But again, when your math is an hour, maybe it's even a half hour, you can't sit for 30 minutes. Yeah. You make it more engaging and the brain comes alive. And it, like I said, it's an imprint on the child.
Yeah, I love that. And that's been one of my concerns coming out of the pandemic. And we've had so many families tradition to online or full-time, traditional homeschooling. And I've heard from families who during the pandemic, they kind of got the wrong idea about online learning and that it was your kid sits in front of a computer. And now they're seeking out programs where they want basically a teacher to babysit your kid via screen for 6 hours. That's everything wrong about online learning. That's not what those of us who have been in this space, who have educated our kids in full-time online schools, it's not best practices. And what you just said, it is not healthy for kids. It's not based on the science of learning. Like that's just not, it's not good. And so this, I think, is a great way for families, and of course, all the educators in the group. I hope that they will think about what you're talking about and incorporate some of this into their, their lesson plans and their learning day. But for those of us who are educating our kids at home, you really have to be intentional. And, this thing that I'm sitting in front of, it's a delivery model, right? It's the way information can be shared, but it's not everything. And so it's important for us to get up and move during the learning day. And, like you said, it's a really great way for your kids to really learn that information and get it locked in up here. And I love that you talk about building connection. It can build connection between the kids, but also you get up there and move with your kids too, and how accessible it is. I mean, I can't think of many families in America, even here in landlocked Colorado, that doesn't own a pool noodle and can't cut it in two. And now you have these really great learning tools to incorporate into your learning day. About how many videos have you done?
Oh, great question. So this morning I just finished editing. I uploaded about 14 new ones this morning. I upload so many each week. Right now I'm just above 2,000.
Wow.
So the library is building. I've been doing this for about 2 years, and every week I'm uploading more and more. And as I get better learning my craft, I'm able to do it quicker and more efficiently, and creating more and more. And there's really an unlimited resource of material because within and I'm happy you played the pool noodle one. I'm
Yeah.
trying to expand what it is. It started with just dancing and freezing, and then the lessons. But then I was thinking older kids, and I've got videos where we do, jumping jacks, raise the roof. It's more guided movement, and then you got your pool noodles. I have some other ones with different kind of desk drumming, but I'm trying to appeal, to different learning styles. And I guess overall, Tilly, this really appeals to kids that have like a kinesthetic learning style, and it doesn't have to be reserved for them. Other kids can benefit too, but I'm trying to appeal to that part of the senses and that learning world.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm automatically thinking of the kids who get told, keep your chair flat on the floor and, stay in your seat. Those kids that they need to move. This would be great for them because it's permissionless. It's okay. You can move. We want you to move. We want you to be tapping
Yeah, and one thing
on
I
the desk.
learned teaching third grade, you can curve behavior if you bring this intentionally as a part, because a lot of behavior I have seen comes from kids that are sitting too long and they're bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe number one, they're bored, but number two, that antsiness kicks in.
Yeah.
And if you don't tailor your day to meet that need, you're going to get it in a behavior issue
Yeah.
that isn't really an issue.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
them
kid being a
expressing.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It's
being a
just,
kid.
yeah. Yeah. I see so many benefits, and you have tons of content at this point. How do you decide, like, you know, I think I need to cover this content area, or and what subject areas are you kind of focused on?
So I'm focused heavily on math and reading. And when I say reading, it's more literacy.
Hmm.
Sometimes I just get these waves of inspiration. Like right now, I'm working on skywriting, and that's like a kindergarten
Hmm.
um, kind of topic for just the letters,
Yeah.
uppercase and lowercase. And within that, I mean, you have all the letters, then you do uppercase and lowercase. So then that splits. I try to make them seasonal versions. So there's like a Valentine's version of skywriting V. There's a Halloween version of skywriting V. So you can, almost like we do with our worksheets and themes in the classroom, you want to have it for the season. So with my videos, then I just get on these kicks. Or right now, I love the skywriting because I figured out how to show my hand skywriting, and it was just a cool experience. I'm so excited about that. Aside from that, I've taught preschool through fifth, so I kind of have a nice range, and it comes down to just what hits me. And sometimes in the group here, I'll
Yeah.
see, oh, someone's looking for that,
Yeah.
let's make that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And I thank you immensely for taking all the time that you do to do this. It's not your full-time gig. And so I know it's something that you do that you're passionate about, and you do it because you care about kids.
Well, thank
And
you.
that's pretty special. What is the cost for educators and families?
So $5 a month. You get access to all the videos. There's no cancellation fee. There's no minimum you have to sign up. You could sign up for a month and be done, and then come back in 3 months. It doesn't matter. So $5 a month, or you can prepay for a full actual year of 12 months for $45,
Okay.
and that gives you a break. It comes down to like $375. But I didn't want to go too high. I didn't want to go free because I love teaching. I put so much work into the videos, I would love to one day have the opportunity to do this full time. You know, it's kind of that spirit. And I think $5 is nominal considering what I want is this to be a support
Yeah.
for maybe homeschool parents that have their curriculum. It can't just be that. I want to support it. And if
Yeah.
I can be a little add on that boosts the interaction and the fun of what they're already learning, then that's the goal.
Yeah. And $5 a month, you guys, we spend more on that on a trip to the coffee shop uh every day, and it's an investment in your kids. And I'm already thinking I have a 5-year-old niece, and I'm like, this would be so great for her. She would love it. She would love it. So parents, I say all the time, you never regret investing in your kids, and $5, it's not much, and you get hours of fun out of this particular programming. Where can families and educators find you online?
So online specifically, it would be kidsfreezedance.com. And you know, everyone's into social media, Facebook, YouTube. YouTube, I just want to address. I don't like to put all my content on YouTube, and the reason is, in my experience, sometimes you never know what kind of commercial is going to pop up.
Yeah.
Granted, there's YouTube for kids, but I wanted to make it like an extremely controlled environment on my website where there's a wall, no one's getting in, there aren't going to be any outside forces to what you're showing your kids. And so it's kidsfreezedance.com. It acts like a Netflix, you know, so you go there, you can pick by grade level. Once you go into, say, first grade, it'll show you a nice table, freeze dance math, guided movement reading, Halloween math. It'll be very divided out. And then, oh, your kid's going on to second grade now. Your package includes it all. So second grade, you can also go back and revisit older videos, which is so cool for a review.
Yeah.
In a fun way. Let's look back and when we did Bossy R. You know,
Yeah.
it's, oh, remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you're so right about YouTube, and I see it all the time with kids that I work with. They go for one video, and pretty soon it's taken them someplace maybe you didn't want them to go, or yeah, or it just becomes a time suck. And so I totally respect your judgment in keeping that content cataloged in one safe place where you can curate it and make sure that the kids are there and getting exactly what you're intending it for. So love that. Jay on the drums, thank you for joining us today on the Parent Exchange. We appreciate all the content that you post in the group, but parents, take advantage of just another really great online resource that you can incorporate into your learning day. And educators, we have tons of educators in this group. Wow, he's done a lot of legwork for you, and so we know your job is hard, so anytime you can get help from your fellow educators, I know you appreciate it. So Jay, thanks for joining us. Anytime you have something new that you're doing with kidsfreezedance.com, you're welcome anytime to come back and share it with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And parents, teachers that are watching or listening, you know, if you have a video idea for me, let me know. If you're having trouble and your kids just aren't getting it, but you think, you know what, if they were dancing, I think they could get it, send me a message. I take requests.
Great. Awesome. Send your requests, everybody. All right. We will see you next time on the Parent Exchange. Everybody stay safe, stay well. Bye-bye.